Welcome to the Solahart Sales App training video on how to configure lead sources, regions, and emails. To set up these configuration settings, go to the dashboard and select the main menu widget. Scroll down to the Configure section and then select Lead Sources. Lead sources are quite literally the source of your leads. You are provided with a default list of lead sources which you can edit as you need for your dealership. You may want to add a new lead source for Ray White Concierge to separate that lead source from the generic real estate option. Another lead source you may want to add is your own website, if that is relevant to your dealership. Okay, let's add Ray White Concierge as a new lead source. Select New and type in a code for this lead source. Tab across and type in the description. You can remove any lead sources that you do not use by selecting the checkbox for that line and then selecting Delete. Please note, however, that once you have started using your lead sources, you should no longer be deleting lead sources from this list. Lead sources are used in various tables and reports in the system, and deleting them may cause unexpected issues. So please make sure you are happy with this list before you start creating your leads. Now, let's take a look at regions. Regions. To edit the regions, go to the dashboard and select the main menu widget. Scroll down to the Configure section and select Regions. Regions are assigned to customers and will then flow through and be available in your leads and quotes. Regions can also be used in the CRM system to assign service jobs to technicians. So, if you would like to use regions in the new Sales App and CRM system, please go ahead and create your regions by selecting the New button. Type in your code for the region, noting that there is not a separate description field for this setting. Add all the regions for your dealership. Close the page when you are finished. Next, we will look at email. Email. To review the email setup, go to the dashboard and select the main menu widget. Scroll down to the Configure section and select Email. Emails can either be automatically or manually sent using the Sales App system. Automated emails are triggered when certain actions are performed in the system. You can also send customers what we call manual emails directly from the Sales App wherever you see the Send Email button. These emails are manual because there is no automated trigger to send them. You will need to click on the Send Email button and then select which email template to use. Using this email setup is a great way to increase communication with your customers, letting them know what is happening and when. Let's take a look at the email setup. Firstly, only email 1 and email 2 are used in the Sales App system. Emails 3 through to 7 are used in the CRM system. If you are not proceeding with CRM, you can just ignore emails 3 to 7. Email 1 is sent by the Sales App system when you send a quote to the customer using the Sales App. Email 2 is sent when the quote is accepted by the client. Note that there are several ways a quote can be accepted, which will be covered in a separate video. Let's take a closer look at how these emails are configured. The code is just a way for the system to identify which email to send and when to send it. The From address will need to be updated, and this will be done for you immediately prior to go live. Your consultant will update this field for you. The subject is going to be used as the subject in the email. In the case of email 1, the subject is Solahart quote, and with that little piece of code added, the quote number is going to be added at the end. Merge field 1 is the logo that is inserted into the email. I will show you an example of an email in a minute. Notice that there is some code used in this email setup. This is so that the Sales App system can insert the correct words and numbers on each individual email. Please do not edit the code fields or you could stop your emails from working correctly. Merge Field 4 column has the body of the email. You can change this if required, being mindful not to edit the code fields. Some dealers are adding their banking details to the emails, so please add those details if you need using the HTML editor you can see here. Okay, let's see what this email actually looks like in an example. Note the subject of this email. Subject had one of the merge fields, the quote number, which has automatically been inserted. We can see all of the PDFs that have been included. We can see the logo at the top of the email. And scrolling down, we can see the main body and the link at the bottom for the client to accept their quote. The process of sending emails will be covered later. For now, you just need to make sure you are happy with the setup of email 1 and email 2. In particular, please check the body of the email and add any required text like your bank details. If you don't want to add the bank details, that's fine. You don't have to. Just know that you can edit the text in these first 2 emails. Once you are up and running, you may like to revisit this email setup and add some new emails that can be used to increase communication with your clients. There is a separate video on how to configure a new manual email. Okay, so let's recap the configuration areas covered in this video. First, we looked at lead sources, then regions, and lastly, we looked at the email setup. Please review the configuration for each of these settings. Great! That's the end of this video. Thanks for watching and see you soon.